Hello and welcome to this module on emotion management strategies. The voiceover will simply go over some of these slides and will allow you to hopefully process the information a little more effectively. So I'm doing this because a lot of people, when they do the emotional intelligence development work, are only focusing on the how are you question, enhancing emotional self-awareness. And that's a great thing to do, but I think it's almost unethical to do so until you have developed the emotion management skills to manage the emotions you're asking people to open up to. And that is incredibly important. Unguided introspection and a focus on your own feelings can be incredibly unhealthy and very unhelpful. So emotion management is not being nice or being assertive or always being positive. It's about achieving results. It is a hard skill. So what emotion management is, it's staying open to emotions, treating them as data, and using them to solve problems and achieve goals. It's very straightforward. Now, it's not suppressing emotions. A lot of people will say, okay, so you're too emotional, you're always freaking out, you're always emoting. And the mark of emotion management is someone who suppresses emotions. That's not what we're talking about. There's wonderful work by James Gross at Stanford on this very effect that there is a cost, a cognitive cost to suppressing emotions. And I urge you to look at that research. It's really, really superb and very well done. So we're going to look at strategies, so real strategies that will work. We'll look at long-term strategies, short-term self-management ones, and short-term managing others' emotions. All right, let's start with the longer-term items here. The idea here is that you're creating a more stable baseline. The more of the things you do that I'll share with you in a moment, it takes more to set you off. Mindfulness, diet, nutrition, exercise, all these things that you know, but are you doing them? And I think here it's absolutely critical to figure out with colleagues, with friends, with family, how can I actually do these things? Given what's going on in my life, is there anything that I can do on this list? And the more you do these things, the more emotional reserves you have to bring to bear on your life. And that includes all of your relationships. So it's not a selfish thing to do. It's in some ways, I look at it as a very selfless thing to do because you're more available to others in your life. However, a lot of us still don't have time to do that, and it's not going to be enough. So let's share with you short-term self-management strategies. The intervening moment is really cool. It's a very easy thing. I just have to remember to do it. And that means, let's say there's a trigger. I'm getting this email and I'm really upset and then I hit reply. What I do is I take a pause, I breathe, I reflect, I hit reply, I delete the person's name, write the email and go back to it later. In a conversation, same thing. Just pause, breathe and reflect. Look down for a moment. Don't respond immediately. You'll do much better this way. So what are some of those other strategies? Preparing, doing affective forecasting. Could this conversation go off the rails? Not should it, not will it, could it? You'll anticipate reactions and be ready. Engaging in self-talk, modifying the situation, when you meet, where you meet, how you meet, when you have this conversation. Modifying your mood, expressing an emotion that you desire. It's not suppressing, it's different. Cognitive reappraisal. What's the other person's point of view? Reframing. Why am I doing this? Why am I having this conversation? And classic physiological techniques, standing up, stretching, altering your posture. None of these take a lot of time and they're all super helpful. All right, what about working with others? It doesn't happen in a vacuum. You want to be ready to manage emotions in an interpersonal situation. You want to show interest. You want to modulate your tone. Paraphrasing, not repeating, paraphrasing. And a really powerful strategy is validating. I can see how someone might feel that way. Comes from DBT. It doesn't mean you're agreeing with them, but you are validating them, and it's enormously helpful. Other strategies, taking their perspective, having cognitive empathy, reframing. Why are we doing this? What's our goal here? Acknowledging the person's effort. They worked really hard at this. Now, maybe the outcome wasn't what you desired, but they really tried. And then when we mess up, because we're going to do that, apologize, but only if you mean it. and do it in a sincere way. With these strategies, knowing that emotions are data, you can engage in these skills in order to enhance your openness and have the ability to process the emotions that you're asking people to open themselves to. If you don't do that, I think you're doing a grave disservice to yourself and to others as well. We have other information, we have videos and books and so forth. I urge you to look at these and to contact me. And I want to thank you for your time and for your attention.